So the last weekly adventure, it has Unflinching Strength, Undying Rage, and of course Vicious Enemy. This is the Darkstar portal, of course. Unflinching Strength, each round the player's first Noxus card costs 1 less to play. And if any of their units die, then instead they would be granted Tough, Overwhelm, and Fearsome. This is kind of tricky to go up against. Oh, we also leveled up Kaisa too. Nice. Yeah, we get double relics. Replace the Banshee's Veil. And I think we are going to give her Voidborn Carapace from here on out, but we'll see. See if I like that or not. Anyways, we're going to go for Annie on the Darkstar portal. We'll see how it goes. Of course, you know, thanks to Unflinching Strength, Annie's going to be free. So I'm kind of excited for that. We do have to worry about the Undying Rage, though. So we'll see how it goes. Our Annie is level 22, and she is 3-starred, so she's pretty strong. We have the first power here. Okay, we are going to go for Hold Them Off, and that's going to help us nullify Undying Rage. And we're going to go up against a Reckless Trifarian. They have their normal power, Incapacitation. My damaged units can't block. Can't talk sometimes. That's okay. Alright, we're going to replace the Prefect and probably Death's Hand. Alright, we're going to open up with Annie.
Come out, wherever you are.
We're going to drop down the Legion Saboteur. We're going to attack with Annie here. She does have Gale Force, so she gets Scout. Having her as a 0 cost is really broken with Guardian's Orb and Gale Force. And we're going to commit to this, and it's going to deal another 9 damage. Kind of brutal to think about. Death's Lotus here will take out our Legion Saboteur, though. And oh no, Annie can't block. But Gale Force has her go back to our hand, so doesn't even matter. Well, the Hextech Proto Belt isn't going to be useful here, but that's okay. We're going to open up with Guiling. We're going to just Guile the Reckless Trifarian, so we don't have to worry about blocking him. And we're going to drop down Annie once again. So that actually worked for whatever reason on the Prefect, so we're going to drop her down now too. And we'll end the round there.
Something special, aren't you, Annie?
Alright. Once again, we drop down Annie here. As you can see, Reckless Trifarian is now Frostbitten, so we don't have to worry about him. We will use Guile this time around on Shiraza, the Blade.
You can do better than that.
Oh, nice. And we're going to drop down the Captive Greyback, and that's going to give our other units Overwhelm. But to open things up, we're going to use Annie once again and utilize her Scout. That's going to deal a nice 4 damage. And we're going to attack once again.
Let's go. You can do better than
That's going to deal a lot more damage.
Come on.
That'll be pretty nice. So there we go. We kind of won really fast. And mostly through, you know, skill effects. So.
Did you like that, Tibbers?
Yeah, I think we'll have a good time. We'll see what awaits us. I didn't look ahead, so I don't know. You know, we're gonna go for Crystal Arrow here. Yeah, I think that's our best bet. Stick with frostbiting people. Work as board control. So I could go for Quick Strike Blade on Vayne, but I don't think I want to, after my experience with the last match during the Shadow Portal. I might go for Darius, but I think he kind of takes away from Annie, so I'm going to reroll. Silver would be nice, but I'm going to reroll once again. Nothing. Okay, well, I guess we're going to go for Viktor. He's going to give us some sustain. And we'll go up against a Mana Soul student. They have the Power School Assembly. Game start, all players summon a Mana Soul student. Okay, yeah, this is perfect for Annie. The Dark Star Portal this week was meant for Annie, I feel. This is so fun. So broken. Okay, well, we're just going to replace Disintegrate. I'm cool with everything else. Okay, let's open this up a bit.
You're okay, Donnie. No biggie.
Well, we're just going to let this go through.
Fang's turn.
I'm going to use Annie here. Once again, she's free thanks to the weekly adventure. And we are going to use the Mana Soul student to block the Spellslinger. Since it would have died, instead it didn't. But that's okay. We'll drop down the Legion Saboteur.
I have my orders.
And we'll drop down the Armed Gearhead.
You know what my future is? Glorious.
And we'll end around there. Okay, we drop down Annie here. She has double scalp for whatever reason.
Oh, it's
That's kind of funny.
You're okay, Donnie.
But okay,
No biggie.
that's fine, I guess. We're gonna use Death Sand here. We're going to use it on the Spellslinger, and it's gonna deal a bit of damage to them as well. See, I feel like I'm going up against myself again. Kind of interesting. Oh, we got a champion and a unit out of that. That's pretty nice. Yeah, we're gonna attack with Annie here. Anyone who blocks her would be defeated.
Dang.
Huh. How's this power work then? Each round. Interesting. Oh, I guess I did use Death Sand on their Mana Soul student and it didn't die, but you know, it didn't get this either, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm not worried about it though. We're gonna attack with everyone here.
Are you new?
That's cool. I don't mind if they block Aphelios. Alright, one more attack turn and we should be good to go. We didn't take that much damage either, which is nice. Oh, that's a big disintegrate.
I don't like
That's
your
a
aura.
really strong
Stay out
free
of my way.
disintegrate. Well, yeah, I think we're going to use that and open up with that. Yep. Sounds good to me.
No one's the wiser.
We're going to use Guile here. We're going to use it on the Legion Saboteur.
Great. Nice.
We're now going to use Calibrium. We're going to use it on the Prefect. And we're going to go for Severum.
Don't mind if I
Give us some lifesteal. And that's going to heal us back to full health if we're actually able to use it, but we'll see. How this is going, I don't know. We're going to drop down Annie as well.
Come out wherever you are.
And we'll end the round there.
Lovely. Very neat.
Okay. Well, we're going to drop down Annie.
Let's go make some friends, Tibbers.
Hey, Donnie, tell me about Mage Side again.
We'll drop down Viktor.
Are there these extra colors all around us? I can,
Oh, there's a lot going on here.
evolve me.
That kind of sucked. We're gonna use Hexacore upgrade though.
Of course. New materials, new improvements.
Okay. And we still have 5 units, so there's no point in me dropping down the Captive Greyback, although that's a really strong card. Actually, if I do, I just win. We'll have fun with things. Having fun's more important.
Your ore is so blue.
You lose Annie, that's okay. The joke's on them. So, we used their Undying Rage. So now we actually have space to drop down the Captive Greyback. And we're gonna end.
Everything's in place
Yep.
behind you. Moving
I don't
to
think
the
they get an option here.
Where are you from?
Oh no. Yeah, the spell alone from the Captive Greyback's one won us the match. Pretty nice.
Keep faith, Aphelios, and we will find our...
Alright, we have the battle rewards coming up. We are going to go for the Death Ray. Because it says Charging Sigil, and we have Luna's Tempest on Annie. Well, no, we don't. Never mind. Thought we did. We used to. Never mind, I take that back. We still made our choice, though, so that's fine. I'm not too impressed with what I see here. The only thing I might do is go for the Shadow Assassin. Colossal Hammer on that's nice. I don't know if... I have to check something before I buy in my sights. Okay, so we get to Frostbite their strongest. So I guess this is fine. And we'll go for a copy of the Shadow Assassin. Alright, so there's no point in us going up against a Crimson Aristocrat. We go to the shop. And we don't need the Solitary Monk either, so we'll go up against Lord Broadmane. Again, this is kind of like going up against Annie. They play pretty much the same. So, just like the last node did too. They have the power skill rewarded. When the foe plays a skill, their strongest unit is granted 1 power. So this is the same thing that the Prefect gets, more or less. It's a little bit less powerful though. Alright, we're gonna keep this hand. It's looking pretty good. They do start with the attack token though, so that's something I have to be concerned with. Besides that, we're good to go.
Explosives prime.
Alright, just like before, we're gonna open up with Guile. I'm kind of banking on them not playing an extra unit. We're gonna drop down Annie.
Come out, wherever you are.
And we're just gonna end the round there.
Lovely.
We'll start to use Guardian's Orb, get items going for us. Alright. Once again, we drop down
Come on,
Annie.
Tibbers. It's playtime.
That kind of sucks. Arachnoid Sentry stuns her. If that's the case, we can use Death Sand here. But, if I do that, it's not going to go well either. We'll use Calculated. Whatchamacall. And we are going to pick the Ballistic Bot here. And we have enough mana to use them and drop them down this turn. So, here we go. We'll get an Ignition for next turn. I'll just end the round there.
Safety disengaged.
I'm done being scared.
Okay, we're going to use Guile immediately on their Legion Saboteur. I don't feel like dealing with it and its skill, because it's just going to buff up the Prefect. And here, well, we might as well block it with our Poro Fly. Actually, no, we'll block it with the Ballistic Bot. And we'll commit to this. Alright, and we are going to drop down Annie.
Come out, wherever you are.
We're going to drop down our Legion Saboteur.
No one's the wiser.
We are going to drop down Ignition. That's going to hit their Nexus for 3.
Rise, metal breath.
and give our ballistic bot a little bit of power. Whoa, there's a lot on that. If it was our attack turn, I'd drop that now. That crystal arrow. That's so strong.
Safety disengaged.
Yeah, scout. It's interesting. Alright, well, where you drop down Annie here?
It's playtime.
Well, I'm not a fan of that. But we can use that sand on the shredder. And we'll go for meteor shower here. No. Got rid of our bonus unit too. That sucked. I think it's crystal arrow time. We are going to frostbite the shredder. Try to this time at least. That's going to give everything frostbite. No, we don't have anything to worry about on their side of things. We can drop down the house spider. And we'll drop down ignition. We'll commit to it too.
Fire till nothing moves.
And we'll use Annie here to attack, utilizing her scout. And we'll attack with everyone. We are going to use Vulnerable on the Legion Saboteur, and we're going to take it out with our Spiderling.
Wanna see something cool?
Cool.
Well, I'll see.
Very cool. Alright, we end the round there. And he gets back in our hand. It's perfect.
Can you improve?
And their shredder is permanently frostbitten. Okay, so they do have Make It Rain. That's gonna actually impact our board quite a bit, it seems. Yeah, we lose our Ballistic Bot. We lose our Spiderling. Although the Ballistic Bot does have Last Breath Rally. You're gonna use Guile real quick on their Legion General. We're gonna block with Porofly. And that's gonna, you know, trigger their Undying Rage. That's okay. We drop down Annie here.
Come out wherever you are.
That's huge. We have double Black Cleaver on the Captive Greyback. Oh god. And it has Shadow Totem. Oh. Yeah, that's a little crazy. We're gonna use Ignition here. And just if we even if we just attack with the Captive Greyback, the attack skill itself will take out their
I wanna play.
stuff here. We're just gonna use Annie's scout and use their vulnerable. Take out the sentry. That gives them one less unit to block with, although it doesn't matter, as I just went over. But yeah, this is a bit much. The double Black Cleaver, focusing crystal, Shadow Totem, with Annie. That's a lot. A lot going on there.
Let's go make some more friends.
Okay. Alright, we're definitely going to go for the Mana Soul Student here with Mana Deposit. I love Mana Deposit. It's like my favorite thing. We have the item chest here. We are going to go for Challenger on the Captive Greyback as if it wasn't strong enough. We have the healing node here. We don't need to use it. And there's nothing for us to really cut, so we're going to heal 0. Yeah. But we have to go up against Karma.
Trust your spirit.
Well, I mean, I don't know if the free Annie experience will pass on this one, but we'll see. We'll see how things go. I'm kind of excited nonetheless. Alright, so we're gonna first replace pretty much all of our hand because we do start with 10 spell mana after all. Alright, we got Viktor. I think Viktor's pretty good. I was hoping to get Annie as a first draw. Kind of scary. Not getting Annie at least, because we do have Guardian's Orb on her. And Gale Force.
Where there is life, there is hope.
Okay, well, we're just going to take out Karma real quick. If they let us. Ah, right, Undying Rage. I forgot about that. They do have the attack token too, so I'm going to Guile. So they can't attack with Karma at least. I can't stop that though. We'll just use it to use the Vulpine Wanderer that we got from, you know, using that to block that. Quick, and we are going to drop down Viktor. Although we don't need the Vampiric Sector that he comes with. And we're going to use the Hex Core upgrade. And give him additional stats and a keyword. We got tough on him too, which is nice. And we are going to drop down Viktor's Death Ray. And we're going to take out the Shadow Blade real quick. Nice. Okay, we'll end the round there. Hopefully we get some more cards to take out Karma, but we'll see. I mean, she's frostbitten now, so shouldn't be as much of a problem, at least. We're going to attack with both immediately. We're going to use her vulnerable. Just put some damage in on her first. I kind of don't want her to be able to react to me doing things, so we'll play our cards now after we attack. Let me know how your guys' weekly adventures went, or how it's going rather. Yeah, we're going to drop down the Legion Saboteur here.
Explosives primed.
And I think we're going to drop down Guile. We're going to use it to stun the Death Shade Bender. And we're going to follow it up by dropping down the Spell Slinger, and we're going to take it out too. They don't have any mana left, so they can't save it. Up next, we might as well just use the rest of our cards here. We're going to drop down the House Spider, and we're going to use Stance Swap. We are going to go for Boar Stance. And we are going to give Viktor regeneration.
Metal is perfection.
And we'll end the round there. There's nothing else for us to do. Oh, we got the Frostbite on Karma too. That's pretty good. Okay, well, we're going to open up by using Guile on the Swole Squirrel. And we are going to commit to that.
From shores to hills.
There's a lot going on here. I have to be really careful. We're going to use the core upgrade once again, and that levels up Viktor thanks to it being a created card.
Electroplating completed.
What do these yordle eyes see?
Okay. We are going to open up by blocking with the House Spider. And that's going to use the Undying Rage. So, after that, we're pretty free to do whatever, more or less. Yeah, I think it's more important for us to get rid of the Coastal Defender, to be honest. We're going to block the Adept Shade Bender with our Spell Slinger. And we're going to block the Legion Drummer as well. We're going to commit to this. We lose a few of our units, which isn't great, but I have a plan. We're going to use the Death Ray here, and we're going to use it to take out... Actually, we're not going to use it. We're going to use it on their Swole Squirrel. So, since they already would have lost a unit this round, we're able to actually take out one of their units here. And we'll end the round there. This is really scary, though, because we don't have any cards in hand compared to their hand. They have 7 cards. Alright, we're going to open up by using Guile on their Scaled Snapper. The plan here at this point is just to scale up Viktor. See if we can get some good keywords on him, because currently there isn't really much going on.
Patrol 1, Patrol 2.
We're going to use Hex Core Upgrade once again.
Analyzing approach.
Oh, Fearsom's not going to help us all that much. Oh, and she dropped down the Ritual of Renewal. That's a pain. Always a pain. We're going to attack here with all of our units. We are going to use the Vulnerable on Shadebender. And we're going to commit to this.
Intruder, get him.
Viktor takes some damage, but thanks to regeneration, that's okay. They do only have 2 mana left, so I'm not too concerned. And we are going to use Death Ray here. And I guess we're going to use it on... Might as well use it on the Scaled Snapper. We'll just get rid of that unit real quick. It's kind of weird ending with 10 mana and 2 spell mana. Okay, we're gonna try to control things a little bit better. We're gonna use Guile. We might as well use it this time on the Green Glade Lookout. And we're gonna commit to this.
Perfection.
We now are forced to take 3 damage every turn at least. Whoa, that's bad. Okay, we're gonna use the Hex Core upgrade here. We're gonna give Viktor some stats and another keyword as per usual. We will be using Viktor to block.
Ready.
Yeah, I think we'll block just like this. And we'll commit to this as well. We'll use his Death Ray here. And we already took out a unit, so we're going to use it to take out the Pathless Ancient.
Time comes.
It's like Viktor versus the world here. If it wasn't for all the control powers that we got early on, I don't think we'd be going this far into this. We have 27 cards left too. Damn. Once again, we open up with Guile. Actually, no, we're gonna open up with an attack here. We're just gonna commit it.
I see you there.
Let's see how it goes. That's fine.
We owe this land our lives.
Okay. Hex Core upgrade. We don't have to worry about Guile this time, but it is a created card, so we should use it anyways.
Many
With it being a created card, it'll give Viktor extra stats because he does have Augment. Oh, he finally got quick attack. So that would help. Yeah, we're going to use Guile here anyways. Once again, doesn't matter who we use it on. Most of their units on the board now have Tough. So there's also that too. We have the Death Ray here. We are going to use it on their Pathless Ancient once again, I suppose.
Of course. Behold.
I would use it on the Coastal Defender. That's kind of who I want to use it on, but it just isn't going to deal enough damage. Yeah, we're hanging on by like a thread here. Oh, there it goes. There's that thread. This is actually good for us. It's kind of weird. What's this? Okay, well that's not good for us. Hey, thanks for the raid, Power Cuties.
Brilliant design.
Alright, well they just recalled our Viktor. That puts us back to
Join
like
the glory
no
of
keywords once again though. That kind of sucks. Oh, they have a huge Coastal Defender. We have to use Guile on that immediately.
Of course.
Thanks to all their blades, though, we're actually able to use Death Ray effectively.
Clumsy design.
Yeah, well, it's not the 1.5 star, it's actually the Dark Star. We're going to use the Hex Core upgrades that we have in hand. And we'll see what we get. Unfortunately, we did just, you know, have Viktor recalled on us. But we actually got elusive this turn, so we'll see how it goes. We're going to use Death Ray here. So this time around, I think we're going to have to use it on the Green Glade Lookout. Just because, like, all the cost reduction coming from its strikes are actually starting to make a difference. And we'll end the round there. Yeah, it's not looking too good for us. We are playing Annie. Our Annie's level 22, I think, and 3-star. But as you can see, we have Frostbite going. We have Vulnerable. We're doing okay. It's just, like, it's really close. Kind of crazy. Yeah, we're just gonna go for this attack real quick. See how it goes. Okay, well, that's fine. I'm going to hold on to this Death Ray, since we weren't able to take out an extra unit this round. And we're going to use both of our creative cards in hand to give Viktor some extra stats. Alright, well, he got faded from that. That's kind of whatever. And it doesn't matter who we use Guile on. Oh, nice! Yeah, I bet. How is Yuumi this time around? Is she any better than the last variant of her? I looked at her deck, and it seemed to be a little bit worse than what it was in the first iteration of Path of Champions. I mean, she's released towards the end, though, so...
Hang on, Buzzball.
Okay. Yeah, we might actually have to use our revive here. Sucks. Damn. So much going on. Yeah, we might as well... Sucks too. Might as well do what we can. Everything's fearsome. I'm not going to waste Viktor blocking. Well, we survived. We survived this turn, at least for now. Maybe. Yep, okay, we're good. Alright. Drop down the upgrade. Unfortunately for us, like, we didn't get any at all this time. And, it's kind of our win con. So, it's not going too well. As you can see. Yeah. Okay. You know, I think she'd be a little bit better at 2 stars, but I don't know what her 2-star power is this time. We are going to drop down our Hex Core upgrade, of course, before we go for an attack. We don't have quick attack on Viktor, so we do have to be careful with the Green Glade duo being able to block. Hopefully we get quick attack or something like that. Fury, that's not going to help us any. And that's going to help us even less. It seems like we lost this one. Actually, this is going to seem a little bit weird. We're actually going to take out our own Viktor here. And this is kind of silly because this stalls out the match. But, you know, you have to do what you have to do sometimes. We're still screwed, but that's okay. Yeah. Alright. Hopefully we get something nice, but at this point we're doomed either way. We'll just have to go for our revive. Yeah. We do have a revive though, so we're hanging in there. I'm just going to skip all that junk. Yeah, not getting Annie early on really got me there. I feel like the Darkstar portal was kind of meant for it too. With all the stuff going on this map.
Always trust your spirit.
So you have guided meditation, and you have this one power here that I have my cursor over, it reduces the cost of Noxus cards by 1 for the first one you play. But the real difficulty is Undying Rage. Each round, the first time the foe's unit would die, they're granted Tough, Overwhelm, and Fearsome. So you have to, you know, take them out twice. And it's pretty difficult to deal with. To open things up, we're going to replace the Prefect, but I'm cool with the rest of this hand. It's pretty good. Hopefully we can get Annie from our... Alright, we're good. We're good to go. Alright, that should be fun now. We can actually do things. We're going to open up with Annie.
Come on, Tibbers.
Get the Guardian's Orb working for us. Cool. And we are going to drop down we're going to drop down the Mana Soul Student first. Although it does have Hextech Proto Belt,
Peace begins
we get the
within.
mana back from it.
Ionia speaks through me.
Alright, we're going to drop down Viktor here.
Join the glorious
We still have the attack token, so I'm perfectly fine to do whatever for the most part. And they don't have any mana left, so they're pretty wide open here. Alright, we'll drop down our upgrade. Thanks to us having Mana Soul Student, it's going to put damage on their Nexus. Fortunately, we only got impact from that. But that's whatever. We'll drop down the Captive Greyback. Be able to utilize its attack skill. And we drop down the Legion Saboteur here. And we're going to follow it up with Guile before we commit to our attack. The only thing is we would lose Annie if we don't utilize the Challenger that we have going on, but it does have Scout. Yeah. Well, I guess I can't utilize the Scout then, but that's fine. Yeah, I think this is okay. And we might actually win next turn. We'll see.
I want to play
Oh, our next attack turn. We don't have Rally. Or any way of getting Rally, it seems. Yeah, that's still a nice amount of damage. Alright. Yeah, it's going a lot different already. Oh. Got Charging Sigil 3 off that. Pretty nice. We're going to Guile, the Depth Shade Bender.
brilliant design.
And we're that much closer to ending. It's only going to take us one more actual spell. Alternatively, we can, you know, just drop down Death's Hand. It's really broken. Yeah, I got Giga buffed from the Guardian's Orb. Yeah, I'm cool with that. That works.
One step closer.
Yeah, having a zero cost Annie with Guardian's Orb and Gale Force. It's perfect. It's like the best thing ever. Alright, we are going to go and give Viktor Overwhelm, I suppose. I think that's okay. And we have the power here too. Chrono Break is really nice. We already have too many fleeting things going on anyway, so I'm just going to go for that instead. And we're going to go up against the Intrepid Mariner. They have the power Keep Searching. When I play a unit, my hand is shuffled into my deck, and I draw as many as I back into my deck. Have you got to the Darkstar portal yet, Power Cuties? And if so, what did you use? We're going to replace Calculated Creations here. Okay. Got the zero cost Annie experience, but if they play a card first, we're going to drop Guile down. Yep, okay.
There's another one! My past flashes!
Interesting. Alright.
Come out, come out.
We have Annie, and that's going to shuffle our hand. Yeah, I think we're just going to eat the 2 damage. There's no point in me blocking with Annie. She would he'd be defeated. Although I guess this node is actually kind of hard for us in a way because of Gale Force. Oh well.
Go make some friends, Tibbers.
Is what it is. This is actually really good for us. We'll actually be able to utilize Mana Soul Student here.
Our life.
It has 2 mana deposits on it.
Donnie, wanna play with
That's kind of
Tibbers?
funny.
Okay, that sounds like fun.
Alright, this is going pretty well for us now. Is this only with units? Yeah, it's only with units, so we can use as many spells as we want. Well, that being the case, we're going to drop down Disintegrate on... Yeah, we'll drop down the Benefactor. But to do this correctly, we're just going to use a Death Ray. Hold on. Yeah, they do have Undying Rage still. Now we'll just drop this down on it real quick.
Help.
Utilize the magic embers going on with the Mana Soul Student. Alright, that has tough, that's fine. It's whatever. Now we can attack if we wish. We're going to use Guile real quick. We're going to use it on the Benefactor. Okay. We're going to utilize Anti-Scout here, and we're going to use the Vulnerable on the Fallen Feline. And we're actually able to take out their units now. And actually have a pretty good plan. Obviously, it's going to have us using Chrono Break. So we're going to commit to this attack real quick.
No kills, no entry.
We are going to use Disintegrate this time around on the Coral Creature. And that's going to take it out. I was hoping for that because now we can level up Annie as well.
Where there's fire, there's shivers!
And that's going to make her spell do even more damage whenever we use Chrono Break. Okay, there we go. Yep, and here comes the Chrono Break. Nice. Alright, do we get Scout again? We do not. That's okay. I'm okay with this. We get some more damage put on their Nexus. Alright, and we'll end the run there. Whenever we play Annie next, our whole hand is going to be reshuffled. So having these bleeding cards in hand is fine. It's just going to give us more cards, I think.
Come out, wherever you are.
Oh, that sucks. Old flash bomb traps. Alright, well. This time around we did get the Crystal Arrow. So, we can definitely use that. Yeah, we'll use that first. We'll use the Crystal Arrow on the Practical Perfectionist. And that's going to stop them from attacking. Since everything's going to be frostbitten, we don't have to worry about that anymore. Actually, I'm not too sure why the Coral Creature didn't get frostbitten from that. Speaking of which, we might as well use the Mana Soul Student to block here, and we'll just use Disintegrate on the Coral Creature at the same time. The Spell Shield will block the Death Ray, so I don't have to worry about that necessarily. We'll still lose the Mana Soul Student, but because of Disintegrate, that's going to do that to it. Unfortunately, we still doesn't... That's okay. We're not going to get rid of the Coral Creature then. We're going to get rid of the Practical Perfectionist. I'm trying not to take out the other card that they have. And we're going to predict Written in the Stars. Or I guess Manifest it. Okay. Went around there. That kind of changed everything I was going to do that turn too. That's okay. We'll drop down Annie.
Go make some friends, Tibbers.
Hopefully I can get another Mana Soul Student. Yep, alright, we're good to go.
Lovely.
Oh, nice. We have more things with Mana Deposit now too. Okay, so they're opening up by doing 2 damage to Annie. And 2 to our Nexus. That's okay. We are going to drop down Mana Soul Student.
Wanna play with tippers?
Okay.
As long as I can keep pulling them, I'm good to go.
Found one.
We'll just flood the board with them. And whenever we use a skill or a spell, it's just gonna
Okay.
clobber their Nexus, basically. Alright, this time around, we don't have any more mana deposits to work with, so we'll drop down the Captive Greyback. Alright, we are going to use Guile here. We're going to use it on the coral creature that, you know, was affected by the Undying Rage. And we're going to attack with Annie here. She's going to hit for 5. It's pretty nice, but we would lose her if we just actually, you know, did that. So, yeah. Let's see, this does 5, so it's going to deal 5 to the coral creature. The coral creature would basically die. Yeah, I guess this works like this. We have enough damage to end still. So we should be good to go. That's kind of weird. So the skill on the Captive Greyback that I was using to challenge the coral creatures activated first. It didn't matter, apparently. Like, we still win, but that's just interesting to see. I guess I could have found out by hovering over it too. That's okay. We're gonna go for Ravenous Flock here. I actually want Hero's Horn in case we run into another, you know, encounter where we're not drawing Annie as much. And we're gonna go for healing here. We're just gonna heal 4 before we go into the shop. Now, into the shop, there's a couple things we can do. Some Parks map's actually kind of nice, in a sense. Lion Weight's actually huge. I want to double check something real quick. Yeah, so pretty much all of our units are 3 or less cost, except for the Captive Greyback, which becomes a 3 cost thanks to it being a Noxus unit, and then Viktor. Viktor's 4, but that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Lion Weight's perfect here. It just gives us extra stats all around, and we'll go for a Some Works map here too. We'll leave after that. We are going to go up against the Trifarian Glory Seeker. They do have the power Militant March, so this is their normal power if you ever encountered them before. When one of their units strikes for 5 or more damage, they're granted +2/+2. That's going to make it pretty hard to deal with as Annie, but we'll see. We might just be able to control the pace. Control the pace of the match. Control the board. That's what my plan is anyways. And to do that, we are going to replace the Prefect, and we're going to replace a Spellslinger for now. Although we could have used them with Guile. Okay, so we got Viktor. No Annie. That's okay. Alright, I think I can still make this work. They do open up with the attack token, so we just drop down Guile here first. And we'll drop down our Legion Saboteur. And we could just use Death Ray here, but there's no point in us doing this now, as there's no way of us committing to this. Like, we wouldn't be able to take out the Reckless Trifarian. We are going to attack here, and, you know, we're going to commit to this. At this point, if we wanted to, we would be able to take out the Reckless Trifarian, even through their Undying Rage. That's okay. Up next, we're going to drop down the Shadow Assassin. Although I could have played it first, I kind of just wanted to see what happens. I didn't want them to be able to block the Legion Saboteur, and so that's how I played things out. There's no point in me using Guile here, so I'm just going to pass. We have the opportunity to play Viktor, but we could also play our 0-cost Broken Annie. We will be using Guile this time on the Trifarian Glory Seeker. Yep. And we are going to follow it up by dropping down the Death Ray. as well. And we're going to hold off on using Death Sand real quick. They do have 3 mana left. I just wanted to trigger Undying Rage first before I committed to anything. Okay, that's fine. I can use the Legion Saboteur to take out one of the Trifarian Hopefuls, and I'll use Death Sand for the other. I'm not bothering that much with their units that can't block currently. Alright, well, they do get to keep on their Trifarian Hopefuls. That's okay. I'm alright with that. It does get a stat boost, though, which is a pain. We drop Annie down first, and we'll end the round there. We now have the attack token, so we'll be able to do a little bit more now. Okay. Well, Iceborne Gauntlet on Spellslinger. That'd be nice if it had more than 1 health. That's alright. We open up by dropping down Annie.
We ride for Noxus!
And up next, we are going to drop down the Mana Soul Student. Because it does have mana deposit, we'll just get all of our mana back. And to follow that up, we are going to drop down... Honestly, this would be fine. Yeah. We're going to use Guile here. We are actually going to stun... It doesn't even matter who we stun, to be honest.
Oh, that's so cool.
And the reason why we are going to stun is because we're going to actually utilize Spellslinger here. We are going to try to take out the Reckless Trifarian. Of course, you know, Undying Rage is going to get in the way of that.
Hey, Tibbers.
And we took out their big unit that they just played, thanks to Iceborne Gauntlet here. The only unit that they can actually block with is the Trifarian Hopeful. So we're good to go there. At that point, we might as well use Calculate Creations, and we're going to go for the Niandroid this time. As it does have Elusive, we are going to attack here with just Annie this time. She does have Scout, and lucky for us, we also triggered Lurk. The only unit that they can block with is the Trifarian Hopeful, so I'm not too concerned by this. We should be good to go, and this should end the match, but we'll see how they do things. Yeah, it's just too much for them to deal with. Alright, there we go.
Did you like that, Tibbers? Wasn't it fun?
Very nice, very nice. Okay, so we are going to go for Ravenous Flock once again. This time it does have standard star chart, which will let us invoke. We also have the item chest here that we're going for. We could go for another Hero's Horn, just in case we don't get the right champion the first time around. We have the healing node here. We have nothing to do with it, really. I'm perfectly fine with the cards that we do have. We'll just heal 0 and continue on to Tahm Kench, which is the boss of the Darkstar portal. He has the power Big Feast. So what happens is whenever they summon a unit, it is granted 3 additional health. This can be pretty problematic, especially coupled with Undying Rage, and whenever you have Annie. As you see, Annie isn't that strong necessarily, but we'll make it work. We'll do what we can. Alright, so this is our starting hand. We want to replace the Captive Greyback, and you know what? We might as well keep Ravenous Flock just in case we don't get the right unit. And we'll keep Spellslinger too. Nice, we got Annie. Okay. Yeah, this is actually pretty good for us. We have the attack token too, so we're just going to gamble and drop down Annie first. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm kind of okay with that. I could drop down Guile. Yeah, I'll just stun it for now. We'll see what other things they play this turn. If they don't play anything.
If I kill you, I don't fortune, stupid.
Okay. So if I attack with Annie, I'll just lose Annie currently. And if I drop down Ravenous Flock, I'm only doing it to get champions. We'll just pass for now.
Lovely.
we'll hold off. Alright, here we go. They dropped down Tahm Kench. So they're going to get the acquired taste. So Annie's pretty rough right now. If I were to just drop her down. We're going to open up with Guile still. Actually, yeah, we'll open up with Guile. And we'll stun Tahm Kench. Okay, and we're going to use Ravenous Block. We're going to actually use it twice. Take out the Crusty Codger. Alright, so the first one, we are going to go for, honestly, probably Crescent Strike. We want to be able to stun units. And the second one, we'll go for the Charger, as Overwhelm should be able to help us a little bit here. Whoa, where'd it get 7 health from? That was interesting. Huh. Okay, so Undying Rage just kind of pulled the plug on my plan. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Alright, well. Damn it, we can't combo with Disintegrate either. We'll just drop down Annie.
Come on, Tippers. It's playtime.
Yeah, we'll end the round there. It's okay, we're still in this.
Where there's a will, there's a meal.
Alright, so once again, we're gonna open up with. Maybe we can't because of an acquired taste. Well, we do have the attack token, so we'll see. I wonder if capture counts as death. If it does, then I'm okay, because I could just use Chrono Break. We'll drop down Annie here, and we'll see what happens. They still have enough mana to drop down acquired taste, sadly. We're gonna use Guile. I think. Yeah, we'll use Guile on Tahm Kench. We'll see how this goes. We are going to use Disintegrate. And we're going to pick Tahm Kench for that. We're going to drop down the Mana Soul Student now. That's going to give us our mana back.
That sounds like fun.
We're going to drop down the Spellslinger. We're going to use it on Tahm Kench.
Oh, his fang.
This should trigger the Undying Rage.
You're okay, Donnie. No biggie.
That's kind of okay here. Yeah, so we already triggered that. That's good to go. If we were to attack with Annie right now, I don't know how well that would go, fortunately. And for us to use Chrono Break right now would also be pointless. Yeah, we're just going to end. We're going to have to scale up with items using Guardian's Orb before we go for anything crazy.
Hope I didn't need.
We're going to have to go for that combo again then too. Alright, so we're going to open up by dropping down 2 Crescent Strikes. We're going to stun both of the Lounging Lizards first. This is going to trigger Magic Embers. We don't have any revives left, by the way, so this is kind of detrimental that we get through this.
Close enough.
Alright, so Tahm Kench got a bunch of more, well, a lot more health. Yeah, we'll follow up with Guile once again. Maybe. Now we'll drop down the Prefect first.
Want to see some cool tricks, Faye?
Yeah, I kind of figured this would happen. That's okay though. We are going to use. Never mind, he has
I
Fearsome.
want you angry.
Alright, we're going to have to block like this then. That's okay. I'm going to keep the Spellslinger for now, because it does have Bonded Bucklers. I don't want to waste it. We are going to eat some damage there, though. We drop down Annie here. There's no point in us doing much. We could go for Rally, which would give us back our Mana Soul Student. But us, we can't utilize rally. That's the thing. At least not yet. We aren't able to utilize it yet.
It's my tail.
Where there's a will, there's
That would work. Tahm Kench is considered the strongest ally. But to do that, we'd have to have our crystal arrow, which we don't currently have. To start things off, we are going to drop down Viktor. He's going to heal our Nexus a bit, and I don't mind actually if he captures them. I just have to be careful. We are going to drop down the upgrade as well. Oh, his death ray got a Titanic sensor on it. Okay, here it comes. Alright, well, that is what it is. Okay, we drop down Annie here.
Let's go make some friends, Gypsies.
And we are going to... Actually, we're going to attack with Annie.
I wanna play.
We're going to utilize her Gale Force here, and we're going to use everything we can.
Smells like burning.
It seems kind of silly to play things out like this, but I actually have a pretty good plan here. Yeah, we're going to lose Annie, that's fine. That is perfectly fine here. We're going to drop her back down.
Come on, Tibbers. It's playtime.
And
This way.
we are going to attack again with all of our cards this time around. We are going to use... we are going to use the Vulnerable on the Fortune Croaker. We're going to take it out with a Prefect. And we're going to commit to this real quick.
Come on. That's all you got.
I'm okay for us to lose our units. That's perfectly fine. That's actually what we want, surprisingly. Alright, and we are going to drop down Chrono Break.
You can do better than that.
This is going to be pretty big for us. So we now have we now have 2 Annies to work with instead of 1. Unfortunately for us, we can't utilize Scout again though, but that's okay. We are going to give one of the Annies the stats from the Bonded Bucklers, and we are going to commit to this.
Come on. That's all you got. You can do
We'll see how
better
this
than
goes
that.
too.
We haven't met yet.
Okay. That's alright. I mean, we took out 1 unit. Not the greatest. But it is progress.
God.
That was still a big play for us. And as you can see, our Captive Greyback is huge. Has a lot of items on it.
Hope I didn't need to.
Let us peruse this establishment's fare.
A little luck.
Alright, we are going to open up by stunning the Lounging Lizard. That's kind of spooky. But we're mostly using Disintegrate to take out units here. I think he's just going to level up by eating his own units. For whatever reason, he's not using the acquired taste correctly. And this would be like completely free time for him to use an acquired taste because I am playing Annie. But hey, that's fine. He does get his Lounging Lizards back, at least a couple of them. And I do lose my Viktor that he swallowed earlier. That's okay. We can play Viktor down now if we wanted to. I think we kind of have to. Yeah. Alright, that's fine. We leveled up Viktor pretty much immediately.
Progress. With utmost efficiency.
Alright, and we're going to use Viktor to block
Clumsy
the
design.
Gift Giver, which would artificially destroy it. Oh, actually, it actually takes it out this time. That's fine. We'll drop down the Hex Core upgrade here.
No materials, no
Hopefully I can get Spell Shield or something nice. Nope, no love just yet. We drop down Annie.
Come out wherever you are.
Alright, and we can also drop down the House Spider here. It's actually a lot stronger now. And we'll end the round there.
Yep, that's
Whoa. Holy shit. That's a lot going on Death's Hand. We're gonna open up with Guile. We're gonna stun one of the lounging lizards, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. And that's going to reduce the cost of our Death's Hand. Our insane Death's Hand at that. So if I play this, it's basically just going to spam the board. And I guess I'm okay with that. Yeah.
These jewels are more than mere trinkets.
Okay, well, we're just gonna, open up with Death's Hand. We're going to use it on the Crusty Codger. It's going to deal 9 damage to their Nexus. And it's going to be spammed, basically.
Whoa, 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 this ain't just a lamb.
Unfortunately, we did lose a couple champions off that, but that's okay. That was insane. We just filled our board up, basically. Oh, that's not nice. Wish is actually really bad. We'll use the upgrade once again. Hey, we finally got the spell shield too. Okay. They take out our ribbon dancer, that's fine. There's a credit card. Perfectly fine. We know what's in their hand. We know what they have left. We'll drop down Annie here. And we'll attack with a couple.
Let me change up my style.
Yeah, actually, yeah, we'll just attack with everything but Annie.
Weapon roulette.
More or less. I don't know who to use that vulnerable for. This isn't exactly a good attack either, because all of our units are weak.
Lights out.
Alright, well. We don't have Last Breath on the Captive Greyback just yet, so we'll just drop down our Owlcat. And we'll use the Light of Akathia on Viktor. And we'll end the round there. On our next attack turn, we should be actually good to go with the Captive Greyback, but we'll see. Not entirely sure.
Not again.
Oh, I don't require a menu.
Oh, this works. That works a lot, actually.
They say
Okay, we
these
actually
are
have a good
from
plan here.
Viktor himself.
There's a plan. So they use an Acquired Taste on the Hungry Owlcat, but it does have Spell Shield, so it doesn't do anything. It doesn't stick. It finally got Last Breath on it. Okay, this is actually huge for us then. How do I want to do this? Yeah, you know what? I'll just play him now. Nice,
The
we
journey is difficult.
captured 2 of their
Please
units
protect
too.
it.
We're going to use the Hex Core upgrade.
Yes, in action. Electroplating.
This is actually pretty insane. I stalled out enough for this to happen too. Oh man, if they don't attack, that's going to be so sad. Alright, we drop down Annie here. You know what, if they're not doing it, I might as well do it myself. I'll use Chrono Break. Screw it. Okay, there they go. Now they're attacking. They didn't want me to trigger Last Breath on my rally banner. Okay, now we're actually able to do some damage. Get some stuff going for us. Yeah, this is perfectly fine.
Be brave.
Yep, it didn't go as well, but hey, I think we still won. So, I don't have to worry about that at least. We're going to attack with Annie here. And we are going to use the Vulnerable on the Gift Giver. And we're going to take her out utilizing Annie's Scout and Annie's attack skill. Okay, now they only have Tahm Kench to block with. We're going to attack with all of our units here. And we're going to have Tahm Kench block our Captive Greyback. And this is perfectly fine because we finally won. It did take a lot of stalling, but we got the cards that we needed to be able to do it. I would say it was actually a pretty hard and pretty strategic Darkstar portal for once. It's pretty nice. Nice to experience that.